Apoor, it's great to have you here. We got to start with a cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Manufacturing. Prost, yes. Are you from Germany by chance, or do you have?
No, I'm from India.
Oh, okay.
Grew up in India, northern part of the country, almost at the border of Nepal, called Bihar. That's where
Okay.
Buddhism started.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where Prost came from. If you had some
German.
background. Okay. All right. Well, it's great to have you here. I'm excited to talk about Mentor, as I believe it's pronounced, spelled like mentor, but with an E at the end. And your slogan, your motto, is train and retain. Tell us what that means.
Right now, in manufacturing and warehouses, retention is a huge problem. A lot more skilled workers are leaving the industry, retiring, compared to the millennials and Gen X joining the job. Um, so all of the companies are struggling in terms of training and retention. That's where our solution comes in picture. We have gamified the experience of training on factory floor, which allows workers to enjoy their work more than the current methods. And
Yeah.
it has been very successful. So what we noticed is that training is not just faster, but workers retain longer on the job. That's why we started calling it train to retain.
I love it. And the audience of Manufacturing Happy Hour, I think the manufacturing industry in general is well aware we have a workforce issue. People are retiring. We don't have enough people coming in. I'd love to hear, tell me a bit more how you gamified it, right? That's something that I think is very unique, especially attractive to the next generation. I'd love to hear how Mentor does that.
The idea of gamification comes from computer games that we usually play. Even in day-to-day activities, if we enjoy something, if there is a reward, if there is any kind of recognition, we like to do those things. And that's what we have done with the training programs in the manufacturing as well. A lot of time, workers who are coming to the factory, they find these jobs mundane. They feel as if they don't get recognition. They don't feel as if they are rewarded for their work. And sometimes they feel disposable. That's why when we started including these gamification ideas from computer games, workers have started liking them. The other thing is, when we talk about factory floor work, even if they are building high-tech product, their job is not necessarily high-tech. So, once you give them a piece of technology, they feel more empowered. They enjoy their work more. So that's how we are changing the learning training experience on factory floor.
Yeah, that's I like you made me think about this in a new way, right? It makes whatever the job is a little bit more high tech. Yeah, I'm interested to learn a bit more about Mentor, then a bit about your startup journey as
Sure.
well. So you were there are other workforce solutions out there, right? There are a lot of people trying to address this problem. We were chatting before the interview that there are a couple things that make Mentor unique. One of them was AI, but I'd love if you can go into both, just so the audience understands a bit more about you.
Majority of the software products or conventional training programs that you see out in the market, they focus heavily on presentations, the cheat sheets, standard operating procedures. Workers don't enjoy those things as much because it comes across as very boring. Whereas when you start creating right kind of solution which engages the workers, which gives them feedback on a continuous manner, that's when workers enjoy the thing more.
Yeah.
So in our solution, we have leveraged computer vision as well as motion sensor, two things together, which go with the workers on the factory floor. And as they are working, our sensors is able to pick up those data from the manufacturing floor and give tailored feedback to the workers in a real time. There's one thing which I forgot to mention previously. Majority of the factories also don't have qualified supervisors. So, somebody who could do hand holding, who could give feedback to the workers, look
Sure.
after workers when they need it. And that's where, software is playing a crucial role in our method, because our software is automated. Workers don't need supervisors all the time with them. A lot of the supervision, feedback, those things are taken care by the technology itself.
So I want to ask a bit about being a startup as well. And I heard you talking on stage. You know, you have 5 industry verticals you're focused on. Maybe I'll start with that question. You know, did you have certain areas you were expecting to go into? Were are any of these verticals ones you're like, hey, I have a feeling we're going to be strong here, and then were other ones of these a surprise? Let's say.
Yeah. Initially, funny enough, we started in biomedical device
Mm.
company idea. So idea was to prevent carpal tunnel for new moms, um, senior who struggle with hand injuries a lot, not necessarily related to work, but also because of um, different health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then during customer discovery process and our business planning, we realized that there was another market which was untapped, and that was manufacturing. In manufacturing, the same piece of technology could be pivoted and used in a more continuous manner. So that's why we ended up being in manufacturing sector. At first, when we started, we were hoping to focus only on those jobs which are labor intensive,
Okay.
jobs which are in food processing companies or warehouses. Um, but what we noticed and what we found through customer discovery, that pain point is same in every industry.
Mm.
In fact, it is independent of geography as well. So it doesn't matter whether you are in Midwest or South or West Coast or outside USA. All the companies are struggling with this problem of training qualified workers, upskilling them, and we thought, oh, so we have a much broader, bigger business. And since then, we have been growing consistently into different verticals.
And Mentor, you told me you've been a company for 2.5 years now,
Yeah.
correct? And I guess first of all, the origin of the word mentor. I probably should have covered this at the start, but it's the Italian word for mentor, correct?
Yes.
One thing I want to ask, and this is a bit of a 180 from what we were just talking about with the origin of the word, was what was it like getting your first customer as a young company, right? Like that's one of the things that I just think is an interesting story for anyone out there, whether they're with a big organization, starting a company of their own. Would love to hear what your experience was doing that.
So for us, the getting first customer was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky that they also turned out to be our investor. So that
Funny
was
how that
like,
works out.
win-win. We got 2 wins
Yeah.
in one go. I always say that, when you are a student at a school, people are more willing to talk to you because you're not trying to sell anything, you're trying to learn. So that's what we were doing. We were at Cornell University. I was
Mhm.
doing my PhD. During PhD, I had this idea of a biomedical device that could prevent carpal tunnel injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Cornell had an entrepreneurship program. We call it eLab, Entrepreneurship Lab, where
Okay.
they give you $25,000 of funding and support, and they help you do customer discovery. They teach you how to build a business, create IP, etc. So I was in eLab.
Yeah.
And as a part of that program, they taught me to go out and do customer discovery, and we tried everything. I was talking to doctors, I was talking to managers at Cornell University, and then one day I went to Tyson Foods customer contact us page,
Mm-hmm.
the same place where people go and complain about their chicken, or they want to they want to give feedback to the company. And I wrote a message saying that, hey, we have a solution which can potentially prevent carpal tunnel injuries among your workers, because the data showed they had a lot of such injuries. And I was very surprised. In 2 days, I got a reply from very senior up executive saying he was interested in learning about our system. And bam, we got our first customer there.
Wow.
Fast forward 1 year, they also decided to make an investment in our company. So it was a two-win in one go. We got our investor as well as our customer there.
So one last question then. Was it emotional to go from what you thought your idea was originally going to be to what it's become today, right? A solution for carpal tunnel to now a workforce enablement platform, train and retain, right? Was that a hard decision, or was it very business minded? Was it like, you know what, this makes sense to go this direction?
It was mostly business driven.
Yeah.
It was also based on few judgments. For example, do I really want to solve carpal tunnel once it has occurred, or I want to actively prevent it?
Mm,
So I didn't want to be reactive. I thought, why not to eliminate it at the source itself?
yeah.
And when I was trying to solve repetitive motion injuries among the workers, I realized, well, there is a bigger fish to fry. Why should we worry just about the injuries? You can actually teach a lot of nuances of manufacturing to workers. And that's how our platform, became broader. Also, during 2.5 years of journey, we got more and more customers. I learned more about our business. I learned about customers. I learned about their pain points. And that's how we gravitated towards this vision.
Wow. Cut it off at the source rather than react to the problem down the line. I love that. Great stories, great advice for the
Thank
audience
you.
out there. Apoorva, I'm looking forward to seeing how Mentor continues to grow. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you
Prost.
so much, Chris. Enjoy talking to you.
Likewise.